shake your body, shake your body.
You can't sleep when I do. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep when I do. Let's not sleep together.
Greetings and salutations. Hello everyone, welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mark. Joining me this week, right along the top of the screen for a change, on the far, oh, my hand doesn't work that far. To far left, it's of course Matt. Wave inside.
Howdy.
There you go, thanks Matt. And then next to him, the man that's currently on mute, it's Dave.
Hi.
And then the man who looks like he is hiding from the cops in the basement, it is Mitchell.
Hello. At least most of that is true.
Yeah. And the last, but not least, hiding behind the purple chat banner, it is, of course, Keegan.
Hello.
We have lots to talk about this week, but we're going to start, as we always do, going around the room, talking about what we have been playing. Of course, this is Season 4, Episode 325 of Gamersledge Podcast, the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo, oh my god, barbecue lol, I don't know, my BFFJill. So, Dave's been gone the longest. He's been gone for like 6.5 months. So, Dave, why don't we start with you?
He was here last week. We do need to.
I wasn't. Yeah,
you weren't, but he was.
Yeah. But that for Dave years, that's like 6.5 months still. So, tell us what you've been up to first.
There was definitely a dynamic mist of us not arguing over everything.
I don't know what you mean.
So you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to not be around when I am. Like that, just I don't think it works.
We were just all too agreeable. Is that what you're saying?
Ah, I see.
It was just like pleasant, and like we were just having great conversation. Like it was just missing something.
The soft troll returns.
I'm choosing normal just to spite you then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, seriously, what have you been up to?
Oh, what? It's my turn?
Yes.
Let's see. We've been there's been a lot of playing Mario games with my kid. He is heavy into a Mario phase right now. He beat and restarted Odyssey.
Wow.
So.
Wow. How long have you had it? Or how long has he been playing it?
A few weeks.
So it's fair to say he's a better gamer than you now at this point.
Yeah. It's totally fair to say that. I've helped, but surprisingly little as time has gone on. There's and granted, like I actually love this about the newer Nintendo games. They have like little easy modes in there for kids to play, and so Odyssey has what they call an assist mode, which basically just seems like it offers a couple extra hits, and there's like arrows that show you like first where to go, where you're looking for moons and stuff. Nothing crazy, but it really helps him, because like you can't just plop him in an open world and expect them to figure out everything going on. That being said, though, I love watching him figure out, he beats all the boss battles. Like, he has pattern recognition down already. So I'm really enjoying watching that. And figuring out little puzzles and everything like that. Like, he usually figures out stuff on his own. So I'm digging that. And it also created a bug where I want to play more of the Mario game again, but it's always in his Switch. Like it's a physical copy of it, so it's always in his Switch. So I'm having a hard time stealing it from him and stuff. I
read a report, just FYI, that showed that kids that were exposed to games and gaming from a young age are 1,200% more adaptable to new rule sets as they adapt through life than people who have not played games. Just FYI.
That makes sense.
As long as it's not Pokemon, because then it entirely dedicates their memory to memorizing only Pokemon names and stats. So he can't play Pokemon until he's like 12.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up with this kid in the middle of the screen here who can't remember anything other than, you know,
he's not in the middle. He's 2 to the right of you, Brady.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, wherever he is.
The funny thing is, he did say he wanted to play Pokemon. And I was just like, buddy, there's just you need to learn how to read first.
That was actually a serious motivator for Mitchell to actually buckle down and learn to read, was being able to play video games, because that was that PS2 era where not much stuff was voice acted.
Yeah.
And so that was actually a serious motivation for him to learn how to read, more than, you know, like cat, dog, frog, you know.
Well, I've been using that as a training thing for, you know, the dialogue in the Mario games and the menu screens and everything, and he's been figuring stuff out that way. So it's been, you know, we've been using it as a learning tool, using it as a, you know, learning how to practice and, you know, learning how to, you know, take defeat and everything like that, you know. And when he first started, like, he was getting like real frustrated with stuff. And, you know, we worked with him. I was just like, buddy, I was like, this is part of it. I was like, you're not always, like, you know, you're not great at everything when you first start. You need the practice. And what happens when, you know, you lose a guy? You just try again. And sure enough, it's been working. So it's been a really great tool with that kind of stuff. And it's bled out into, like, you know, other things. You know, the concepts, you know, have translated in real life with him, like, you know, practicing, trying things again, not getting frustrated. I really can't believe that video games have helped work on his frustrations, you know, when he was, like, interacting with the world and stuff. I really thought it would have the opposite effect, but he's pretty good. So that's been a lot of fun, kind of like rediscovering, like, you know, games, you know, through, you know, my 4.5-year-old. For me personally, I've been playing a bunch of Lumines on the Switch. That Lumines remastered. I kind of, you know, I'm on a kick where I rediscovered that, which was spurned.
You confirmed that is the PSP version, correct?
Yeah, it's a remaster of the original.
Okay.
And it just has, like, the, you know, the very original gameplay tweaks and everything. It doesn't have, like, the stuff that was in the, like, the Vita version or anything like that. You know, it's the straight up the original. With just the, you know, enhanced, like, you know, rumble and all that kind of stuff, which really adds to the game a lot. The cool thing about it is it's just a perfect version of the game, and I love the original so much. And I broke out actually my original PSP. Mm-hmm. Well, not my original. I had the Slim. You know, remember I had that electric blue Slim one?
Right.
And I noticed the battery pack, or the battery cover, was, like, popped off. So I went to pop it back on, and it wasn't going back on. And the battery was popped.
The battery... did it explode?
Yeah, well, the battery didn't explode, but it clearly popped. Like, the inside... I mean, it's definitely... You know, it's contained.
Solid ruptured inside, but it didn't break the seal. Right,
which, thank God. Mm-hmm. But now I'm stuck trying to figure out how to get... I mean, you can't just get a replacement battery. Like, Sony doesn't sell them. You know, which is shocking. You know, I figured they'd sell them for $100.
You can probably get them off one of the import websites.
I'm looking around. I haven't been looking, like, super hard. I gotta, like, try and do that this weekend.
It would be worth just emailing PlayAsia and explain the situation and see if they can point you in the right direction. Because a lot of times they do handle that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I'll get that figured out, because, you know, I wanted to play the original, you know, and I was just like, you know something? I mean, I got it on the Switch. Why am I going to, you know, that's a better version of it anyway. So there was that, and I also fired up the 3DS, and I realized I had a Kirby game that I never even played that was plugged in. Mm-hmm. Kirby's Epic Yarn, so I started playing that, because why not? Because I love Kirby games. And game-wise, that's pretty much what I've been doing. TV, caught up on Better Call Saul. Just to go into the wrestling thing, I caught up on the week before the pay-per-view for AEW.
Good. Yeah. So you saw the 30-minute Iron Man match.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That was...
Just wait till you watch the pay-per-view, dude. Wait till you watch the pay-per-view.
So that was ridiculous. So I'm going to have to check out the pay-per-view and then catch up on this week's. But yeah, I've been enjoying that stuff. That's been good. I'm watching that Lego Masters show. You know, that's been fun to watch. What else is there? Letterkenny. You guys ever watch that?
No, but can I take a quick aside since I'm doing it right now to say,
yeah, sure.
It's funny that Jesse is so thirsty for Cloud and just shuts Biggs down so hard. It's amazing.
Oh wait, so we get to play games now while we're doing this?
Well, this is
no. We get to not pay attention and play.
I'm paying attention. I'm responding to everything you say, Dave.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, I'm not drunk enough to have this argument yet. So so there's that. Did you ever hear the show Letterkenny?
Yes, I've heard of it, but I've not watched it.
It's a hilarious show. It's really good. You know, since I got Hulu now, I had access to it, and I basically mainlined 8 seasons of that in a week and a half. They're short seasons. They're like not even 10 episodes, and the shows are like 25 minutes each. Not even probably for some of them. So it's not like that's not a super impressive task, but they're just easy. They're just down the episodes. The show is actually shockingly, like, it starts off like it's just really funny, but then there's actually like there's underlying story elements that come into play, and things that happen like throughout that actually like there's big character arc changes that are surprising for a show of that nature.
What's, if you're gonna give a 10-word or less no spoiler synopsis, what's the main...
It's basically about a very small town in Canada, kind of rural. So it follows a couple different groups. They call them the Hicks, which are the farmers, the Skids, which are kind of like the the people who are like on meth, the hockey players, because they're in Canada, so it's like a huge contingent, and
did you say
how they interact?
Or Wisconsin? I'm just kidding.
Canada, yeah.
It's my one for the day.
Yeah, I mean, some of the accents are similar.
It's more in Minnesota.
That's true. But yeah, the people that there's some really, it's really funny, surprisingly smart. Even when they're being dumb, there's a elevated like smartness to it, and it's just like the dialogue is really quick, and the actors are really good. So it's definitely a worthwhile watch. It's a very fun show, and it gets you hooked. So it's just, there's a lot of good stuff in it. Probably one of the best shows that use running jokes. There's just a ton of running jokes, and it just all works. And, it's really enjoyable. I like it.
How fast are they running?
Pretty fast.
Okay.
And I played a little bit of the original, not the original. What was the original? Was the original on the GameCube? Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I think that was the original.
Yeah, it started on the GameCube, so I was playing the original DS one.
New Leaf or no?
No, before that. It was just
before New Leaf. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just like Animal Crossing, but it was on the DS. I played that, and that got awkward because like apparently I had a town set up, and like my ex-wife was in it, and I was just like, oh. That tarnishes the experience.
That's when you just format the cartridge and start over.
Yeah, but I didn't want to start over because I was done. Like I had everything in that game. And I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna look around and turn it off.
Can't you just delete her?
What's that?
Can't you just delete her?
I just didn't want to deal with it. I just
Was there cobwebs on everything, or did they not started that yet?
Yeah, there was. Everything is just overrun with like weeds, and there's spiders in the house. So I had to chase down all these spiders. So I'm like running through the rooms of my house and looking at all this ridiculous stuff that I had stuffed in my house. Like for some reason I have, I guess Triforces were a special thing, but I have like 6 of them. So I just have a room that's like littered with like Triforces and arcade games, and just
Guess you
like,
have a lot of wishes then.
yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff in there, and I forget like how like I came about like all that stuff because it was so long ago. But it was just hilarious. Like I just have all this like fancy crap like strewn about these rooms. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's I still got like another like what 3 weeks? It's like the end of March, right?
The new one?
Yeah.
2 weeks, isn't it? It's the 20th.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's good. I'm expecting issues in life after that's released.
See, I thought you would be down for Doom Eternal before you were going for the Animal Crossing.
I am down for that. I kind of want to wait to see. I'm hearing reports that like they pulled off a miracle with the Switch port. So.
But why wouldn't you just? Okay, did you even check if it's on Mac yet?
I don't have anything capable of running a game like that.
You got a MacBook Pro, don't you?
Yeah, my MacBook Pro is like 7 years old.
Oh, I didn't realize
the release on the 20th is not Switch and no Mac.
Not Switch and no Mac, so just PC.
Well,
yeah, I don't.
PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC.
Ooh, Stadia.
You didn't even get to Stadia. Remember we helped you.
Maybe I will now.
Oh my god!
I'm sure.
Just stop.
I'm sure I can get one. I'm sure I can get one for like $10 now.
No, they're still
actually
charging full price.
Why? Nobody has it. Nobody uses it.
Oh, there's enough of them that are complaining. But yeah.
Yeah, Doom Eternal for Switch is not yet got a launch date, and not finding anything about a Mac version at the moment.
Yeah, well, I can't play it on the Mac anyway. But yeah, we'll see.
You do have a PS4 though, so just say.
I do, but I still gotta play the Star Wars game on it.
I have to ask because I already know the answer. Did you play the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo?
No, I haven't had time.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Has your son played the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo?
No, he's all about the Switch right now. He's got his own Switch, so that's where he lives.
He had to corrupt the new generation before they had a chance to learn about the superiority of fixed console gaming.
You know something? We'll talk about that for a second.
He's drunk enough for that argument.
Yeah, my son is born in a great time where he no longer has to worry about being. He could be tethered to the TV. He could be not tethered to the TV, and it's the same system, same thing. And he can just run. He could be playing on the TV, and we could say, "Oh, we want to watch something." He can just take the game and sit on the couch with it. Okay, you know something? That's the great time that he lives in. I am not going to take that away from him. I am cool with that being his reality.
Yeah, but you realize as soon as you show him the PS4, that's going to be his... when he sees the graphics and the frame rate, comparatively, that's going to be his reality.
Yeah, but that doesn't have Mario. He's already played the PS4.
What?
What do you mean, why? Because we played
No, not why.
What did he play on it?
Let's see. He played Rayman. He played Flower, Spider-Man, Tetris.
So you're just purposely not exposing him to one of the greatest games ever made because you hate Final Fantasy for some reason, even though it's supposed to be your favorite series.
Do you really think a 4.5-year-old is like, I'm just gonna whip Final Fantasy on him? Like, do you think that that's really the course of action that's gonna work?
Yeah, he has a point.
It's linear.
This demo, the demo, basically, if you play it on classic mode, it plays itself. So
That's also true.
Look, I'm already sold on it from what you guys said there. Like, you don't have to sell me anymore. I'm on board. I'm a buyer. Like, I love that. That's a great concept. Fantastic. I'm all on board with that. I just think it's a little, like, you know, it's a little much for the kid. All right? Let him cut his teeth on Mario. I mean, I started him off on, like, old, like, you know, arcade games and stuff, like, on the, you know, I started on, like, the RetroPie with, like, you know, Pac-Man and, like, the original Mario arcade game and stuff like that. So, like, I've been working his way up, and, like, he's progressed quickly, but, like, I still think, you know, a big old dramatic, you know, role-playing game, probably a little bit above a 4.5-year-old. I'm just guessing.
See, but now the one thing you haven't mentioned that is kind of odd to me personally, and the only reason I can think of it you haven't brought this up is because it isn't on the Switch, is you have not yet had him try the PS4 Ratchet and Clank.
Because there's a lot going on there.
If he's handling Mario Odyssey, he can pretty much handle that. Maybe not beat it, but he could get there.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's one of the first games they played was the original Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it might have been even the very first.
I'm not sure
like,
it was
real
the very
game.
first, but it was the first like modern game.
Yeah.
Spyro.
Spyro?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Spyro.
that was right. Spyro was before that.
The
Ratchet and Clank was nice because there was endless lives, so you could fall down that dang hole as many times as you wanted, and you just kept going.
yeah.
I remember playing the first one. I even got the Rhino. But then
God, I love that.
save file somehow got deleted or something.
Oh no.
Everything died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's on the list. We will definitely get there. I think here's the difference, and this is why I kind of want to wait a little bit. You know, it's kind of like Mario is real easy to just kind of jump in and just play a little bit, and you know all that kind of stuff. Like Ratchet and Clank, there's a whole thing. There's like a story. There's a nice story behind it. There's a whole like you know progression and everything. Like I want them to really appreciate that. So I want him to. I'm trying to raise him as a connoisseur. You know,
You're building your own story arc to his history with games, so that when he's a video game journalist in the future, he'll have awesome stories to tell and a whole arc to his progression.
Wow, that sounds even better than yeah. That's exactly I like. We're gonna go.
You
with
sold
that.
him there, Daddy.
But yeah, seriously, I just want him like. And it's basically like I was trying to like push Star Wars a little bit, but I was like thinking I was like pushing it a little bit early, and I'm like, you know something? No, I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna let him explore and find his stuff and what he likes and doesn't like and everything. Fine, he doesn't want to watch Star Wars, but he wants to watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends for 2 weeks straight. That was actually a little rough.
And when exactly are you installing the secret room that's activated by knocking over the trophy on the fireplace mantle?
Yeah. I'm surprised he doesn't want that. But the I remember one of my favorite episodes was like the whole like history of Firestar.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I just love that episode. We're watching that one again recently, and I'm like, oh my god, that girl was such a bitch to her. Like her whole life, like that. The girl was rotten, like ever since a child.
Pretty much.
Like she was just like straight up when they were kids. Was like, "You're too poor to play with us." I'm like, that was a lot harsher than I remember.
Hey man, that's the X-Men, buddy. X-Men don't get nice lives.
It was brutal. And then and that created a whole thread. I was just like, you know something? What happened to Firestar?
New Warriors.
Yeah, so I went
got
and looked
cancer
up,
from her powers.
Right. I went and looked it up online, and she's cancer. Like really? Like her powers gave her cancer.
Well, they changed her from heat to microwaves, so
Yeah.
then that's
Yeah, that was awful.
But then it got cured because of a reality reset, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's good.
And now I think the new Warriors, I think she's going to be a part of, if I remember correctly. So
But
she went through a rogue phase where she like was wearing these weird goggles and a leather jacket, and yeah.
So, Dave,
Whatever
did you
works.
watch or play anything else?
Oh,
Mark's like, I'm going to have beat this demo, and you're still going to be talking.
well, see, that's what happens when he's paying attention to games and not.
No,
Not the
I'm not.
show.
No, I'm paying attention to the show. That's why I'm moving you along.
Yeah, because you just realized it was still on me.
No,
Because you weren't paying attention. Just admit it.
But
Matt, how about you?
Don't tell me you can't hear the planet crying out in pain.
I'm going on mute and I'm eating a pretzel.
You really hear that? Get help.
What'd you say?
Say that again.
All right, so
Yeah. Go ahead.
actually pretty calm since the last time. I finished off Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and then immediately rolled into Kingdom Hearts Point 2, Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary tale. Did I get that all right, Mitchell? Had to pull that from memory. A fragmentary passage?
Yeah.
I suppose.
The names of those games? They're
A
just like
fragmentary
echo-
passage pulled from memory? Is that the actual name?
Pretty much. That
No,
actually
okay.
could have been the full title, really, actually.
I hate those people so much for how they do stuff and name stuff. It's just like you guys are you're just doing this on purpose.
And,
Yeah.
and so it's about it's a little 5-hour thing. It's interesting. It's in the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine. I kind of have a feeling like they wanted to do more of these things leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3, but that plan just kind of fell apart. Because actually the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't Kingdom Hearts 3, it's Kingdom Hearts 2.9. And you play a chapter of Kingdom Hearts before you actually get to the Kingdom Hearts 3 title screen. So I have a feeling they wanted to do more of these things, and that plan fell apart for some reason. My guess would have been they wanted to do one for Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, and then also Sora, but for whatever reason they didn't. So I tore through that pretty quick. Almost thought about playing through it again because it was so short, and I could have maybe picked up some more stuff, but I decided, nah, it's fine, not gonna.
Yeah, well, the storyline's so straightforward and easy to understand that you don't need to play through it again.
Well, the thing is, it really, I get a little weird about this because the core Kingdom Hearts storyline is not that obtuse. Yeah, if you want to get down into the weird weeds of some of the bizarre stuff,
There's some
that
weeds.
gets weird. The weeds are weird. I'll give you that. But I mean, the basic story is not that complicated, and even the middle tier of stuff is not that weird. If you've ever been into anything remotely geeky, you got to get into the hard, deep down. Okay, so when exactly did this person do that, and how did this get there, and what's the difference between Terra Nort and Lingering Will and Terra, and there's some there, but at its core, Kingdom Hearts is not that weird. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but I've watched the YouTube videos of the people who are really deep.
The people who get super nerdy about it, yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Don't let him talk.
Actually, for your
Think
viewers.
Mitchell right now, just you're triggering him. I can see it.
Well, you see, the difference between Terra Nort, and Lingering Will is.
I'm just proud. I know that there are 3 things that are actually related, and that I used it in an almost effective sentence. I don't remember. Had I finished Adventure Capitalist last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I? Okay, all right. So I couldn't remember, so I wrote that down. And I've picked up playing Resogun again. Just kind of because finished Adventure Capitalist, and sometimes I just have weird little short periods of time where I don't know what to do, and so I picked up Resogun, and kind of forgot how that game is.
What was Resogun?
That's the Housemarque side-scrolling looping shooter gun game that was like a launch game for PS4.
Oh, I remember that.
Save the Humans, Save the Last Humans.
That's
the
not
first
the one
thing
with
that-
that's not the one with the Lego ships, is it? Where you
Well,
build
yeah,
the
the
ships?
voxels. Yeah, they're made out of little.
Yeah. That was the game that I completely did not understand what was happening, and it really evoked like the original Defender.
Oh yeah, it's totally a Defender's clone.
And that was exactly how the original Defender started. Like, people did not know what the hell was going on, and like every quarter lasted like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So I finally got through the whole thing in one playthrough on the easiest difficulty. So now I have to decide whether I want to keep working on easy till I can save all the humans, because and it's different now too, because now there's secret humans, and there didn't used to be secret humans. There's a ton in that game that was not there at launch. They have been obviously continually tweaking that game for some amount of time. Because there's all kinds of different modes now that weren't there before. There's secret humans. There's all kinds of stuff. And last thing I remember they added was you could make your own ship, and that was like the last thing I remember they added before. And now it's all kinds of crazy. But yeah, it's fun. It's a really fun game. It can be frustrating, but it's a good little time chewer when you can't really figure out what else you want to do. And then on the watch side, I sat both those other fine young gentlemen were at the house last weekend, and I had them watch Cabin in the Woods, so I watched that.
That's a good movie.
Yep. So
that is a classic.
Yes, very good. I had forgotten that the dude from Grey's Anatomy and Detroit Become Human was in that.
Which guy?
Marcus.
Marcus from Detroit, the black guy.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd totally forgotten he was in there. So yeah, that was a fun event. That was a good, nice, fun time to watch that together. Still working on Magicians season 4. I am to the last episode. I was going to watch it last night on the elliptical, but somebody was watching Sabrina on the account, so I couldn't get on.
Well, then just yell at me.
It's okay. I was just like, I didn't want to. I was already set up and everything. I'm just like, fine, I'll just go.
Well, who else would have been on then?
Even Sophie, we're watching iZombie. So we got one episode left of that. Just saw the news that season 5 of Magicians will be the last season.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Well, that seems like they're going to have a lot to clear up in this season and next season.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know what's set up for in the finale of season 4.
Well, I haven't seen any season 4, so don't say anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything, but I think I'm pretty sure I know where it's going, and
that means you've seen the desert part.
I have seen the desert episode. Yeah,
that part is fun.
That someone is totally kipping Joss Whedon's notes with that episode. That was a very Joss Whedon episode. That was very fun. And it was delicious. And finally resolved the character that they couldn't make up their mind whether they wanted to do a redemption arc or not. And they finally just went with it and it's like, okay, now we know one way or the other which way this character is going to turn. We're still behind a couple episodes of Doctor Who. It's like right there. It's like the elements of it are amazing, and then there's just these little weird bits to it, and it's like right on the edge of being excellent. It just can't quite seem to get over that line. And Altered Carbon season 2. I'm not sure how far I am into it. I think I'm on like episode 8. I think there's
it's
like
out.
One
that
or two
already started?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that dropped. I thought it was still a ways out.
No, it
watched
dropped a couple weeks ago. Okay, now I have not read any of the source material.
Right.
I liked season 1 better. I know a lot of people had problems with season 1 because it did not track the source material.
I had issues with season 1 because it did not track the source material.
You know, I heard that some people had a problem with that, and that some people didn't like it because it didn't track with the source material.
It's not so much that, it's like it did to an extent, and actually like it made a positive change that I thought was great. Like with the hotel. Like the hotel in the book was Jimi Hendrix. And in this, they made it a whole thing with, like, you know, Poe, and I thought that was actually an awesome change. But they made just, like, there was just core changes to the character and his motivations that I think really it wasn't necessary, and I don't understand why they made those changes, because it drastically also altered the badassnicity of the character.
It drastically altered Carvin.
Shut up.
So, if that's a problem, I don't want to say for sure, and I don't want to deter you from watching it, but you might actually have a pretty big problem with season 2 then.
Oh God, now what?
I won't say anything more, but I like season 1 quite a bit better. The end of season 2 is getting better, but I haven't gotten to the end yet. So
answer me this in a non-spoilery way. How's Anthony Mackie's acting?
He does good.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty. I think his acting is good. I'm not sure the material he was given to work with was that
great. My issue
didn't play to his strengths, shall we say?
Right. My problem is he's always been very one note for me, and that's what I was most worried about, is how he would do with some nuanced stuff. But yeah, I'll have to check it out and see.
Yeah. And then I'm not watching this, but there are some other elements in the house that have been, and I have seen an ungodly amount of this of late. But there is a show called Miraculous: The Adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Wait. I heard none of that over the laughter beyond Miraculous.
Yeah.
Mitchell, go ahead. What is the title of the show?
Miraculous and the Adventures of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Except Cat Noir is spelt French, so it's like Chat Noir. Yeah.
It is a CG animated show produced and developed in France, first aired in Korea in about 2009, then localized to French, and then about 8 years after it originally launched in South Korea, came to the States.
I'm liking this
By
kind of
Nickelodeon.
family tree.
And so
Yeah,
you have...
I like the trail of like how this got here. That works.
It's like
so you've
tracking the coronavirus in real time.
kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. But you've got these kids who are in Paris, who are superheroes effectively for.
Wait,
for
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since this was launched in Korea, are they Korean kids in Paris?
No.
No, one of them is half French, half Chinese, because her name is Marinette Dupen Chang.
Well, and Kim is...
No, true.
Kim
He might be.
He's some sort of Asian ethnicity. I don't know what he is. So they're mostly they're French nationals, right? They're living in Paris. They go to school in Paris. The Eiffel Tower gets blown up almost every episode.
Yeah.
Sorry. And it's weird because it's got weird Asian stuff in it. Like the bad guy's thing is called an Akuma. I was like, why is that in a French show? I don't get it. and then it's weirdly Power Ranger-esque, except there's only 2 of them, and there's no like almost no like leveling up. There's never that like Oh, this time we have to use our super weapons. Oh, this time we have to get our Zords. Oh, this time we have to combine our Zords together. Oh, this time we have to get the super awesome thing that lets our Zords have the super awesome weapon. Oh, it's always just the exact same fripping thing. It is so procedural. It is insane, and yet there is some sort of entertainment value to it because it's oddly intriguing. There's like a love quadrilateral, but only between two people.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Not wrong.
And then a strange old Japanese grandpa who just kind of hangs out and isn't really actually related to anyone. Yeah, it's weird. It is super freaking weird. There is one episode where okay, this is so Power Rangers that the villain segment is literally the exact same thing every time. They don't even change the animation. They just change the voiceover. It is literally the exact same scene every single episode. and so it's pretty standard Power Rangers type fare. Bad guy finds someone who's emotionally variable, infects them with an Akuma, and then they turn into some sort of monster that the superheroes then have to defeat.
So what I'm hearing is don't have emotions.
Only negative emotions.
Only
Positive emotions chases the Akuma away.
So Matt's screwed.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's one episode where this teacher, who's like their favorite teacher, gets infected by one of these Akuma, and she turns everybody into kissing zombies.
Not seeing a problem.
Literally,
It is Paris.
They pass this zombieism by kissing, walking around instead of they're kissy, 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 kissy. It is so freaking creepy and weird, and yet it's like a Nickelodeon kids TV show. Like, I don't understand this.
Remember when like animation, like the weirdest it got was like Fooly Cooly, and like.
Okay, Fooly Cooly's still weirder than this. There is very little that tops that.
I mean,
on
there's
the
MA stuff in Fooly Cooly.
But yeah, it's weird and vaguely erotic, and it's just strange. Well, all the like. Well, they're all the two of them are running around in skin-tight outfits, lusting after each other. I mean, yeah, it's innocent lusting, but it's lusting nonetheless.
Cat Noir wants Ladybug, but Ladybug doesn't love Cat Noir because Ladybug is Marinette, and Marinette likes Adrian, but Adrian is Black Cat, or Cat Noir, but Marinette doesn't know that Cat Noir is Adrian.
This is super.
Adrian doesn't know that Ladybug is Marinette.
Right. But Adrian likes Ladybug.
I need to get more to drink. I'm still understanding.
That's how there is a love quadrilateral.
Exactly, that is the love quadrilateral. So yeah, now he walked away and I'm done. So that's yeah. Oh, and I've been keeping up on my core comic titles. I haven't caught up on. No, I did read Cosmic Ghost Rider. Which is Donny Cates' Frank Castle. Ghost Rider goes back in time to kill Thanos, but doesn't, and kind of crazy insanity ensues. And I read Incoming, which is the lead-up episode for this summer's event, Empire. Pyre spelled Pyre, so it's like a pyre.
Like everything's gonna burn.
Everything's gonna burn. And then I'm caught up on all the Spider books except Spider-Verse. And I have Donny Cates' Guardian of the Galaxy run on deck to burn through too. So
hold on, I gotta share this with you. So this was a present. Not sure if you can't really.
It's a face.
It's a Batman.
Ears.
It's a Batman.
It's a Daredevil.
Right. It's a Batman whiskey decanter. So
just drink it straight.
How awesome is that?
Pretty awesome.
Aren't you drinking Bruce Wayne's brain juice then?
Sure.
Yes.
Does that mean that Bruce Wayne is drunk all the time? I'm confused.
Sure.
Yes.
That would explain the punishment he can take.
Yeah.
He's actually a drunken master.
It explains the punishment I can take.
Oof.
Don't drop it.
That-
Oh, yeah. Just that last little bit gets stuck in the ears.
Do we want to talk about new Batman movie, Batman costume, or are we gonna leave that one lie?
No, we can talk about it. We haven't talked about it yet.
No,
Should we
yeah.
get through the other two first, or should we?
Yeah, let's get to the other two first, though. Mitchell, how about you? What have you been playing? What are you up to?
Alright, well,
Whoa,
I've been
maybe a lot.
playing, oh, I finished something. I finished Final Fantasy IX.
Nice.
I finished Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Nice.
Again, really good game. Absolutely recommend it. I played the Final Fantasy VII demo. I played a bit of Fire Emblem Three Houses, not much. Played a bit of Pokemon Sword. I've been watching the Netflix Sabrina. Been watching One Piece, Black Clover, and My Hero Academia.
Black Clover! That's it!
Oh, Black Clover. Oh, that's right. It is getting a game.
And it is not a RPG, which is what I was surprised about.
Yeah, it's I don't remember what it is, but Black Clover. Okay, and then I think that's that. Oh, I also watched the entire season 3 of Castlevania.
Oh, how is that?
It's good. It suffers from too many plot threads. That's all I'll say. Because it follows like 4 different characters' plot threads throughout the entire season.
Mm.
So it's splitting that time of all 4 of those stories across each episode. So you get like 5 minutes of each character's story per episode.
Gotcha.
Is it better than season 2 was?
It's better paced. I don't know if I would say it's better because it's been a while. So, and plus, since I kind of binged it, the pacing seemed better, more level. But I can't make a definitive statement, I guess, kind of, because it's been too long.
Fair enough.
But I feel like it was better paced.
Did they actually have some action in it before the last 30 minutes of the show?
Yes.
Well, okay, then it's already better paced than season 2.
Yeah. It's definitely better paced, I feel like. And then I also watched Altered Carbon season 2. Watched all of that. And I've been watching Bleach. Catching up on that. Even though it's finished, I'm just working through some of the older, more popular anime as well.
Yeah, it's good. It helps prevent the coronavirus.
And I think... Oh, and I played some Jump Force, but I think that's about it then.
And just as a point, I'm not finding anything about a new Black Clover game, but there's a Black Clover game that launched in 2018. That's a third-person shooter.
That's it. That's it.
It'd probably be that one.
I thought it came
Wait.
out already. So
How do you play a third-person shooter as a man who holds swords?
That's what I was like. This makes no sense.
Also, we use the swords. How can you have a third-person shooter as us?
I guess he throws his swords in the game.
I mean, I guess there are over-the-shoulder third-person shooters that do have melee-only characters, so I guess it's possible. But I mean, like, because it makes sense for pretty much. Well, actually, a lot of the Black Clover squad actually primarily uses melee range spells. The Black Bulls. Oh well.
I'm watching a trailer to see if I can find out.
Yeah, I think that's about it. on to you, sir.
Okay, I don't really have that much, but so for vid playing, I haven't done much except for today I played some Smash Bros with the swim team right before the podcast here, and there was like a round of Jackbox games. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Jackbox games. Then I jogged back over here because I realized I had 15 minutes to get over here. And it was on the other side of campus. For watching, again, not much on that front. I've just been keeping up with what I've been doing, so a part of the anime club, primarily watching Land of Lustrious and Mononoke, and seeing some Kill la Kill, and seeing the ending of Demon Slayer, but I've already seen that, so that's not really worth mentioning. So, and then of course Boku no Hero, and I think the other one that I've been keeping up with is Darwin's Game.
There is one thing that I forgot to mention that both you and I have seen. That would be My Hero Academia Hero Rising.
Oh yes.
It was amazing.
Yes.
And if you like Bakugo,
Oh yeah, I read quite a bit about that. I was surprised that they would actually do that because it's set after even the Shonen Jump at this point, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't been keeping up with the manga, but yeah.
It would be
It's
after,
well after
the current
anime arc, at least.
Yeah.
And for anyone that is unaware, that is the current movie theatrical release that just came out last week.
Came out, yeah.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, our local theater is showing it like twice a week, once dubbed, once subbed. So
I might have to go see it again.
yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So
well, you're also behind
Yeah,
3 seasons.
yeah,
If I watch it, it wouldn't do major spoilers. It would just kind of small little things here and there, and how characters behave a little bit differently. That's all it would be. There isn't like any huge story spoilers, are there?
True. Well, only it just shows some of the more impressive things that some of the characters can do, and also just kind of
it would take away the oh my gosh of the first time they do a thing.
Yeah.
But also,
it is really, really expensive too. The tickets there were like significantly more expensive than a normal movie ticket.
but I will say, if you like Bakugo, then you will thoroughly enjoy this movie.
He was feeling a little bit validated in his Bakugo love after watching that.
Okay.
Okay, and just so we can say, so there are like a gajillion characters in that game, and 2 of them are basically, it looks like they're straight up melee with occasional effects that are ranged, and the rest of them are spellcasters. Look like they're elemental spellcasters for the most part. So there's some huge dude with a samurai style sword,
Yami,
and then the main character dude, who are basically just going in there and brawling with their blades. Everyone else is basically ranged, throwing some type of elemental bolt around.
Was there a lightning guy that had like lightning armor?
Is that the dude with the glasses?
No, that would have been Steel. He would have used Steel, probably.
Oh, yeah, there was one flying around. Yeah, he had like lightning boots or something out.
Was he throwing lightning, or was he punching?
Well, he was lightning most... Well, what you saw in the trailer was basically casting like lightning things that would go and then a wall of lightning to stop enemies from approaching and stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
The big thing I've been doing that's basically taken up any of my free time is reading the Darwin's Game manga, because I was watching the anime and I didn't want to, I got impatient because it was good and I wanted to see what happened next. So then over the last I think it was last 2 weeks total, maybe more. No, but it's been within the last 2 weeks. I've read all up to where they're currently at, which is chapter 82, I believe.
Wow.
So, or it's 81. But now I have to wait a month for each one to be. Problem when you catch up.
You've got lots of Spider-Man comics to catch up
Yes,
on.
I do have lots of those to catch up on
Yeah,
too.
how long is that going? That's what I want to know.
I think I'm at 12.
Okay, so
I
you
get
have
distracted by
62
too many
years
things.
more to go.
Yeah, a couple more years. Maybe 5 years to go.
You gotta pick up the pace there, kid.
Yeah, I do. I just keep getting distracted by other things.
Actually, what we need to do is we need to get you a cheap tablet so you can use that, because as you
That's
saw when you were home, that is a much better reading experience than the phone.
Yes. I don't know if I've done anything else. 1 second, let me check. My
Well,
stuff.
you played Bo Jump Force with your brother.
Oh yeah, I played a couple rounds with my brother. Oh yes,
So I do need to ask: are you two going to pick up the One Punch Man that's made by the Jump Force devs? The One Punch Man fighting game.
Maybe. I'd probably pick up My Hero's Justice 2 before I did that, but because I haven't really watched that much One Punch Man, but yeah.
What?
I only seen
Matt,
most
have
of
you seen
season
it?
1 and then parts of season 2.
I've seen season 1 and season 2. Yeah.
Okay.
same.
I've seen most of season 1. I gotta catch up on that.
Yes.
That's
yes,
another-
you do.
That's one of the many things I need to catch up on. I need to catch up on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this was within the last 2 weeks or before, so I'm just gonna say there's another manga that I read and watched the most recent episode of the anime, just so because I know I have a friend watching the anime, so I just wanted to have an idea of exactly where they were, so if they wanted to talk. But it's called Inspectre, so IN/Spectre. Kind of like as Inspector, but Spectre, because it ends with the E instead.
What means it was French.
That one's I didn't describe Darwin's Game L, but I think I've described it before.
You did last
last
time.
week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Pokemon Go, except you're trying to kill each other. But
Yep.
it gets so much more depth into it as you keep going, and I really enjoy it. I recommend you watch the anime if you don't want to read the manga, and I hope the anime gets gets more seasons after this, because I want to see what I've read animated.
All right. Anything else you played or watched, Keegan?
No, I believe not.
Well, I played a little bit of Star Trek Online. I'm full-on space wizard now. It's pretty awesome. I create gravity holes that suck all the ships together, and then I create a space tornado, and they all get sucked into space tornado. Don't ask how you can have a tornado in space.
Not
There's
asking.
no air. I'm just telling you what happens, and then I blow them all up and scatter them across the map. It's pretty hilarious. So that's
Wait, but Black Hole is on Disney Plus,
Yep.
yeah, it is.
and depending on how far back you go in sci-fi, black holes were just tornadoes in space, like Black Hole, which was from 1979. So if you're going in like 1979 era black holes, they're tornadoes in space.
Well, original series was definitely before that even, so I think we're good.
Exactly.
We're covered. But yeah,
So-
that's probably, Star Trek Online is probably the biggest thing I played this week. Just kidding. Of course, what has been playing in the background this whole time is Final Fantasy VII Remake demo, which Dave, I wish you had been there when we were actually, Matt and I were playing it together separately.
And Kate.
And
Kate was
and Kate was there too. But the interesting thing for me is that I only get to see the 1080p dark version of it when I am actually streaming, because I'm playing off the feed that I get through the capture card. And so then after I finished beating it on the stream, then I ended the stream and I went and flipped over to my 4K, my 4K TV on my PS4. And even though I'm on the original PS4, Matt was like, "You should have just streamed yourself watching this," because I was like, "Wow, wow, wow."
I might try and check this out over the weekend.
You really should.
I need to. The basement is a mess because it was just like through the holidays, just kind of like throwing stuff down there and everything. So I need to like give that a clean, get my PS4 set back up on the new Wi-Fi, and and check it out from there. And yeah, and maybe give it a download and see how it goes.
Well, just FYI, the demo is 8 gigs, so a lot accordingly for time.
So start early.
Yeah, start now.
You've got like a 12 gigabyte connection. What the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, dude, my connection is. I almost dropped an F-bomb. It is really, really solid now.
Well, yeah, but just because he has a gigabit from his router doesn't mean that his wireless is going to support that kind of bandwidth.
It gets close.
All right, then. Great. So, yeah, I want to hear what you thought of it first, because I don't know where on the scale Final Fantasy VII falls for you.
Final Fantasy VII is probably about number 3 on my personal list, behind 6 and 10. It was not my first PS7 or PS1 purchase. It was, I know, a reason a lot of my friends in college were all of a sudden going to switch from Nintendo to PlayStation was because that's where Final Fantasy VII was going to be. I do really like Final Fantasy VII. Like I said, it's probably third of my personal list. And, there were certain things about 7 that disappointed me a little bit. Like, some of the environments just make traversal very difficult, right? Because some of the...
Are we talking about the remake or the original?
No, we're talking about the original. Sorry,
okay.
I'm talking about the original. It's those rendered backgrounds. You couldn't always tell exactly where you could and couldn't go, and especially like the Shinra Tower assault, that was very difficult to navigate. Maybe that was intentional, but I don't think so. Not as difficult as it was. And I got myself a little excited beforehand, and I really thought it was going to have an orchestrated soundtrack, and then it was a synthesized music soundtrack. And while the music is still great, and I still really, really like the music, I was always a little bit, bitter that it wasn't orchestrated, because we got the CD audio now, so why isn't it an orchestrated, soundtrack? But still, there's been orchestrated versions of the music over time now, so most of the songs we've heard in an orchestrated version if you've wanted to. But then, this whole reboot came about, and I never really was sure how to feel about it initially. But the more we found out about it, and the more I've done, it seems like I'm kind of down for it. I was interested in it. I know not being a true turn-based game kind of messed with some people's heads, but fired it up. I just sat at the title screen for probably a solid 15 minutes just listening to the music. It is, even though we've heard orchestrated versions of these songs before, they're new orchestrations, and they do play with the original. Well,
I will cheat. I will tell you they did cheat on the song that's on the title screen. That's actually from Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay, so they made a version of one of the Final Fantasy VII songs and put it in 14. Okay, well,
yep.
So all right, I hadn't heard that particular version before, but
right.
you know, it was great. But even going through just the tweaks that they did to some of the themes, you know, they play up some of the more minor parts in some of the songs, and they play down, you know. So they messed around with it, but it's all great. It sounds amazing. On the sound front, there wasn't a single fault. The look of the game, it's an evolution of the Advent Children look, I would say. The characters look a lot like their Advent Children versions, but just not even gamified really, but just even better than that, just kind of tightened up from that even. The lighting effects in this game are unreal, which I think it's in Unreal Engine, so actually that's kind of right. But it's really insane what they've done with the lighting in there. You can say just watching the Buster Blade on Cloud's back as you run around, and the way that the light catches on it and glints off of different parts differently, and all the different light sources, and then you watch Cloud's hair, and it's reacting like dynamically to the different events that are going on. An explosion goes off, and his hair ruffles, but it doesn't just ruffle; it ruffles away from the explosion.
Yeah, so like, this is the best hair tech I think we've ever seen in a game, which is dumb to be talking about, but it makes so much difference when his spiky hair is not clipping through his damn head.
Yeah, or the sword. They managed to somehow figure out how to get the hair just the right length and keep the sword handle just the right distance away from his head, but his hair is not clipping through the sword handle constantly.
Yep.
It's a lot of little details like that. A lot of little details. Jesse's armor is probably a little too accurate to what it was in Final Fantasy VII. It looks kind of dumb, but it looks very much like what you would have imagined it should have looked like if you were able to get a higher fidelity out of the original game.
You have to think that it's like really like actually a good thing, because like people have been clamoring for this for years. But you have to think at this point that now that it's actually, people have to be happy that they stalled so long, that you're getting it on like this iteration of it, as opposed to like a previous generation that would be much less.
Yeah, and you know, it really is, because I mean the graphics are arguably better than, you know, Advent Children. You know, at this point, it's there's a difference to it, but there's a pretty good argument to be made, and it's all in engine, right? So all the cutscenes are in engine. Now there is a res up and a res down between the cutscene scenes and the action scenes, but it's not significant. It is not terribly significant. So you flow seamlessly from cutscene to action to action to cutscene. Everything just works. And amazingly enough, the thing that I think was a lot of people were worried about is that with the look and the tone of everything and what we saw with the trailers, that before the one with the queen, is it Queen Bee? Is that the name of the inn or the place? Honeybee. Before the Honeybee, I think people thought maybe they were just going to focus on the dark and make it kind of almost a more grim dark thing. But a lot of the goofy campiness is still there. So you're in this really super serious mission where you're going to go infiltrate this thing and do this, well, literally a terrorist activity. And yeah, there's jokes being cracked. There's, you know, goofiness that ensues. There's banter between the characters that you're listening to as you're exploring the area.
There's Jessie thirsting after Cloud.
Yeah, Jessie is a very thirsty girl, and she is Cloud fangirl number one.
My favorite exchange is Jessie goes, look, or Biggs is like, wow, you're very talkative about this, and Jessie's like, well, looks are what people notice first, and Biggs is like, I'm not qualified as people, and she said, you're not even in the same book. I'm like, wow, shut down hard.
There's some pretty hard banter there, but you know, going back and watching some video of the original, most of those elements are there, but because that section of the game is so relatively short, a lot of it is lost. Like, I didn't really remember the street preachery nature of Barrett. And you go back and you watch it, yeah, it's there, but it's so brief.
Well, and it's also not voiced. So it's
it's not voiced.
Yeah, it's
right. So
left to the voice in your head.
You've got to add the tone to it yourself. And, you know, if you aren't thinking street preacher, you don't necessarily go down that route. Whereas in this demo, he is a straight up street preacher. I mean, he is, I heard the voice of the planet. You know, I mean, you know, it's pretty crazy. But it works, and it's goofy, and it's serious all at the same time. I was on the fence about getting this or waiting for it, and this demo has really made me trying to figure out, okay, how can I work this out? And then Ghost had to go and drop its release date and totally melt my brain with how in the world am I going to do...
Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Wait, which one's Ghost of Tsushima again? That's the
Samurai Ninja.
But who's it made by?
Rocket Punch.
Oh, right, the Sucker Punch one. Okay.
Yeah, everybody thought Sucker Punch was working on Spider-Man, and then Insomniac revealed they were working on Spider-Man, and then everyone's like, well, what the heck's Sucker Punch working on?
I kept forgetting of why I cared about this game so much, and I didn't want to actually mention anything until the podcast, because like I wanted to like be surprised about it again, because I like surprises, because I'm old.
And that trailer dropped, and we do need to talk about that trailer too.
Well, we need to watch it because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
I know. I was saving it for the podcast. That is true.
No, Mark and I cannot agree on things.
You can't both save yourself for the podcast. That's polygamy.
No, I am now angry.
I am angry out of principle.
No, Matt's the principal. Dave's the title.
But back to I really liked. I like what they've done with this. I've never really had a problem with the fact that they were gonna try to expand this part and make it bigger. I don't think it's gonna get bloated. It looks like there is a ton of love and awareness that has been put into this, and they really know what they're doing with it.
They have to know. They have to know.
It's Square Enix. They don't have to know anything.
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier. Is can we all collectively like appreciate the fact that Square Enix has managed to back their way into getting to this point, so they can actually release this game? Because they've had some real misses over the years, and I'm actually really glad that they've stuck it out, because I think this is going to be a real big hit for them, probably the biggest in the history of their company. Okay. Yes.
Dave has thoughts.
Go, Dave.
It's processing the thoughts.
It's got to make it through the alcohol filter.
Buffering.
Buffering. I actually. No, that actually wasn't a thought about this. It was actually just how lame am I that I coordinated my fidget cube with the podcast, because the gamer version of it that has
the 4 buttons,
right? That has like, you know, the color coordinated buttons and everything. And this is like officially the gamer cube, which is like the, you know, the PlayStation variant of it with the color scheme with the podcast. And so for a second, when I pulled it out of my pocket, I was just like, oh my god, I am that lame that I specifically grabbed the gamer color-coded one. So not only do I have multiple fidget cubes that I color coordinate with depending on what the event is. Like, for instance, I have like an all-black one for when I'm going to weddings. So that's my
fidget cube with you. Holy bless you!
Sorry,
wow.
I do not have coronavirus.
Yeah, but you should have mute.
I don't have mute. I actually cannot mute.
You do. We all have mute. Trust me. I've been abusing mute because I am really messed up at the moment. But so the lame thing is that I actually grabbed because usually I have my all week I've had the gray one because that's just like my standard one, I guess. But this one, I specifically grabbed the gamer one because I knew I was going to be on the podcast. And I'm like, I wasn't even planning on showing it or anything like that. But apparently, I needed to color coordinate with the proper one for the podcast. And that's just how much I care. So,
that is an immense amount of caring.
That's some dedication.
That's why I'm in therapy. Totally why I'm in therapy. It's that
because you can care too much. This is true.
Yes, it's that level of paying attention to detail that puts me in therapy, and why I don't drink enough.
Unless it's Final Fantasy.
We'll take care of that this weekend. I will bet by tomorrow night that I will have at least powered on my PS4 at one point.
Okay.
That's progress. That is progress. We have to acknowledge.
So, I don't know. This is when I miss Rabbit. Even though it was a pain in the ass, I do miss it. So, I don't know.
Shut up. Shut up about Rabbit. Rabbit was terrible. It was, but it did allow us to actually watch videos together. So I can show this, and the stream will hear. So if you want to queue it up, Dave, so that you can watch it as well. What am I watching? Ghost of Tsushima. Official story and release date trailer.
There are two other people who have played the demo. Do either of you want to, before we move on, do you want to?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry, Yes. Sorry, you got me sidetracked about the demo, so I was getting ready.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Mitchell, Keegan, what did you think about the demo?
I actually haven't played the demo.
So he doesn't have any thoughts yet.
All right then.
Mitchell.
Wait, did you play the original?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Well, the last time I played part of it was
within the year.
Yeah, it was within the year. I think it was over Christmas break.
Yeah, but when's the last time that you sat down and actually played through it? Is my question.
I haven't finished it ever yet.
Oh, you haven't finished it. Okay.
No, but I've played it.
Hey, I have a question. And it needs to be answered now because I just thought about it and I'll forget about it.
Okay.
There's this new Pokemon Dungeon DX thing that was released on the Switch.
Right.
That's his question.
I think he wants to know what it is.
Yeah.
What is this thing, and is it worth his time?
Should I buy it?
I really like to thank everybody right now for finishing that.
Because he was stuck, and he wasn't going anywhere.
We couldn't even blame Discord for that one.
No.
I love you guys for being able to understand where that was going.
I haven't played that Mystery Dungeon game, but I've played two others. And overall, they're pretty good games.
That's the one where the Pokemon talk, though, right? You play Pokemon, and the Pokemon
you play
talk.
as a person who has been transformed into a Pokemon and taken into this alternate dimension where it's only Pokemon and the Pokemon talk to each other. And this one, I believe... No, don't catch each other.
You team up.
But some of them form what are called adventuring teams. And they go out into these mystery dungeons, which are locations within the world that change. They're procedurally generated dungeons. And essentially you take on different missions from like a mission board, and you go into the different dungeons and you complete the missions.
What is the gameplay like, though?
So it's
like,
an isometric...
they're calling it like a dungeon crawler kind of thing. Like,
yeah, it's about right. It's a grid-based movement system where everything moves in real time, except it's pseudo turn-based, but your turn is a step. So you take a step, and everything in the dungeon, all the other creatures in the dungeon, take a step at the same time or an action at the same time you do.
Gotcha.
So you move around through the dungeon that way, and you build your teams and go through it. And it's mostly and the stories are pretty well done too, so pretty well written. So
If I remember correctly, the story was probably the best part of the game, but as it should be for a lot of games, is the story.
And
I see a lot of the comments that there's a lot of like quality of life features that kind of make it a little, like some people are saying, it makes it a little like the gameplay gets to be a little repetitive or anything like that. But I'm not sure if that's an issue, if it's fun.
right.
And it seems like there's a lot of people that think it's fun, and there's a lot of people that are just like hating on it because it's not a Game Freak released Pokemon game.
Right,
So,
right,
and it's being like review bombed. So like I don't know what to think about this.
right.
So I was counting on you people, and when I say you people, I mean younger people that would actually play this stuff week one, to tell me they would be into Pokemon as well.
I personally haven't bought it yet, but I am interested in it. I haven't kept an eye on it really, just because there's been so much going on. But I would say if you have an interest in it and you think you'll play it, I'd say pick it up.
And it is a reissue of Rescue Team Red and Blue Rescue Team and Red Rescue Team. So it's a reissue of the two
original
rescue teams, but it's both versions together into one, so you don't have to get two different.
Yeah, it's like a total thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Banner, what's up? Yes, we've been doing every other Friday for a while now.
And I don't know, what kind of quality of life change would have made it redundant. I mean, to an extent, it's kind of redundant because it's always you go into it's procedural. I mean, you get a procedurally generated dungeon, and then you go into it, and you
Try to find the steps.
Hey Dave,
Yeah.
there's a demo on the Switch eShop that you can download, and if you play, you can carry over your demo save to the full game if you decide to go for the full game.
But just do that.
Well, let's just do that.
Yeah, that's smart. That's a smart plan.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
big brain power over there.
Yep.
So
Solving problems. Mark, why are you talking?
Mitchell,
Because we still need to get Mitchell's Final Fantasy VII.
Mitchell, yes, Final Fantasy VII thoughts.
It's really good. I'm looking forward to how they do the rest of it and how the rest of the game continues and goes forward. And I echo everything my dad said, that it played awesome. The graphics are amazing.
I mean, you guys are on a base PS4 as well, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I cannot believe how good this looks on a base PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looks amazing. It's super high. Well, it's high quality. It looks amazing. And the voicing is really well done too.
Yeah, I have no problems with any of the voice actors so far, and I think they might have actually answered the questions that we had, Matt, about how are they going to control this. Because if it's as linear as this demo was, if the whole game is that way, then everyone will end at pretty much the same level. There may be like a couple levels variants. It depends how much free open world with spawns they actually have in the game, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a very linear thing, and I don't mind that, per se.
Yeah, I think it sounds like what they're going to do is the main storyline is going to be very linear, but there's going to be a lot of like side hunts and side missions and stuff that you can do kind of freestyle. So,
which I will do all of them for sure. All right, so let's look at this Ghost of Tsushima story and release date trailer. Dave, did you find it on YouTube? You're on mute.
What, there was homework?
Well, I mean, only if you want to watch it with us. You can watch my screen and you'll see it. There just won't be any sound for you because it's not going to go through Discord.
Okay, let's just... I need to not complicate my life at the moment.
All
right,
right.
so then just watch my screen.
Watch the pretty pictures.
Yeah, watch the pretty pictures. Here we go.
That's all that matters right now. Only on PlayStation. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents.
When we fight, we face our enemy head on.
When we fight, we face our enemy head on.
When we take their life,
When we take their life,
we look them in the eye.
we look them in the eye.
Courage
With courage.
and respect.
And
Wait,
respect.
why are they gonna lick them in the eye?
This is
Look.
what makes us samurai.
Mark, you need to say stuff better.
There must be thousands of them. Who will face death and defend our home.
Ooh, we got horses.
We do what we must, Lord Sakai. That is why you and I are both survivors.
I am samurai.
No, you are more than that. You are the ghost. Convince your people to join me, and I will give them peace.
We will never serve you.
First time I watched it, there was lag, and I thought they actually did like the
Slow-mo thing?
samurai movie lip waggle with the
Nice.
voiceover being wrong, but it's not. It was just lag in the video.
That's awesome.
If you continue down this path, you will be no better than the Mongols. I trained you to fight with honor.
Honor died on the beach. The Khan deserves to suffer.
My only reservation on it is it does say at the beginning this is all captured on a pro.
Yeah, but how? I mean, really? Has there been anything that's been really
After watching the
unplayable?
Final Fantasy VII Remake demo, I think it'll be fine.
I will sacrifice everything. for
I love
my
that
home.
scene there. Wipes the blade off on his elbow and then.
Yeah, that should be fun.
That's a straight up samurai movie there.
Yeah, and I'm
Samurai throws away his pride.
So we should probably also talk about Baldur's Gate 3, because that was finally seen this week. I think they have a... how long is that? No, that's 2 hours. Let's do
The second one there is just the opening, isn't it?
Is the opening... Yeah, I wanted to get some of the gameplay in there. Here, this is good, and I can kind of mute it in the background. Or not.
Can you?
Ooh, let's get an ad. Yeah,
Well,
always.
ads.
Boo.
Okay.
Another ad.
Oh, another ad. Hey.
Double ad. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been
got
stepping those
double
off.
ad.
So, this is based off of a new version of the Divinity engine. So some of the stuff is similar, but the interesting thing is that they have completely crafted all of D&D's rule sets into it. And you can actually see every dice roll that the game makes in the background. So you've still got passive rolls, and then you've got active rolls. So sometimes when you're talking to your friends, you've got active things that you need to do or things like that. It's pretty interesting. But they showed, they did a hour and a half gameplay session with Sven, the CEO of Larian, and he actually TPK'd on his first run through with the game, meaning that the computer killed him and all of his party members, which is hilarious during a live demo. And but then he went back and he showed
Crowd
how
was eating it up though. The crowd.
the crowd was
eating it up.
and I was too, to be honest. It looks freaking amazing. They brought in the camera real nice and close so that you can see what's going on. The most interesting thing about this is that you can do, it will have multiplayer. It'll have 2-player co-op, and you can have up to 4 people in your party, so 2 people online as well. And the interesting thing is that even though it is turn-based, all players get to take their turn at the same time. So right now, you know, when we're playing Divinity Original Sin, if it's my turn, Matt and Dave have to wait for me, but that will go away with Baldur's Gate 3, and then we can all take our turn at the same time, and then it's the computer's turn. So that's kind of interesting. They have a lot more verticality in the game, and there you can see he just greased a bunch of guys and knocked them down, and he's gonna have his other party member go do stuff. There's a lot of sneaking and thievery type stuff for rogues. The wizards look really cool. They have, I think they said they're gonna have something like 13 classes that you can be, and it's looking pretty interesting. This is Baldur's Gate 3, that is correct. Which sadly only will be coming to Stadia and PC. Larian literally said...
So I'll be the only person to be able to play it then.
That's right. Larian said that the PS4 and the Xbox cannot run it. Now, they did not say anything about the PS5 or the new Xbox, so I'm guessing we'll eventually get a console port there. But as of right now, the only... this is coming out this year. They did not announce a specific launch date. But, yeah. They haven't talked anything about community creation tools either. Because it would be pretty cool if people could make, like, you know, the old modules and then put them in this engine. This is all 5th Ed D&D, by the way. So it's kind of cool. Because if you look down towards the bottom of the screen, you have all of your specific class abilities, but then you have general abilities like charge or disarm or throw, and that was probably one of the most interesting things. Like in the demo, when Sven was trying to stay away from something, he would run away and then he'd throw his boots, and he actually killed a monster by throwing his boots at the monster. Which is pretty hilarious.
Nice.
Because he didn't have another ranged weapon, so he just took his boots off and threw them and killed the monster. It's pretty fun. So yeah, that's super interesting. It's about an hour and a half long. I definitely recommend if you're interested in CRPGs, you check that out. And then the other one that's currently on Kickstarter but has already been funded and is about to close down its Kickstarter is Pathfinder's second game using the Kingmaker engine. They released a bunch of new information about it as well, and apparently once you hit the max level cap, which is level 20, you will have the option to do basically legendary prestige classes, and one of them is actually a lich. So you will be able to play as a lich, and you will be able to go back and resurrect all of the bosses that you killed in the game and have them be your party members. So that's pretty awesome. I'm down for that. We are living in like the super golden age of CRPGs right now. So I'm super stoked about both of those. Was there anything else we needed to, like any other big announcements that I'm forgetting, Matt?
Don't think so.
I don't think so either. Well, we talked a lot about stuff. I don't think we're going to have enough time to do a lot of news, but that's okay because most of it.
We got time to do news because I'm here all night.
Most of the news is everything is canceled because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
San Francisco,
thank you, coronavirus, for that.
Yeah, San Francisco as a whole is pretty much shut down. Yeah, Banner says your chance to be game evil then, Mark. I know. I always play the good guy in video games, but if you allow me to play a lich, I'm thinking I may have to go evil. Because that sounds like too much fun to pass up.
We did have the PS Plus games for March are live. It's Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. And Sonic Forces is actually a Sonic game that I don't think completely sucks, which is really weird for me to say.
You kill me.
And then Games with Gold, and beware ye old wonky release date of things because they do that weird mid-month thing. But it's Telltale's Batman: The Enemy Within, Shanti the Half Genie Hero, Castlevania: Lord of Shadows 2, and Sonic Generations are the 4 games for Games with Gold. Oh, there was that trailer for the Netflix Rooster Teeth Transformers.
Oh, I didn't see that either. Actually, no, I want to see that.
Lucasfilm, Lucas whatever has revealed their secret Project Luminous, which is what's it called? The High Republic.
Tron is in ruins.
Yeah, High Republic, which is anyway.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Cybertron is in ruins. I fear war is lost. Optimus, at this moment we must focus on surviving as a race, not winning a war.
Yet again, the Autobots have escalated this conflict to the point where we must answer their aggression with force. I empower you, Decepticons, to bring this painful chapter of our history to a close.
We are facing extinction at the hands of the Decepticons.
Cybertron needs strength. My strength.
Cybertron needs freedom. We must not allow Megatron to find the Allspark. With it, he will destroy everything we are.
You're fighting to win, and that's gonna get you all killed.
The Autobots fight for the day we no longer have to fight.
This was not the life I imagined for us.
It's a life worth
So I'm
fighting for.
confused. If it's war for Cybertron, and this is before they left, then why are they already in their Earth forms?
Well, they aren't all. You saw the planes are the space planes. We don't get a really good look at Optimus' semi. He did have a semi-ish looking thing form when he was on Cybertron.
I'm supposed to get that deep into it.
Okay. Yeah, alright. It looks good. Also, Animal Crossing is coming this month as well.
Yes!
Is there a trailer for Animal Crossing?
Yeah, there's a whole thing.
Is it New Horizons?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's a whole like new Nintendo Direct thing that goes into it, and it's like a whole half-hour thing.
I don't need that. I'm just looking.
No, you don't need. I don't think they have a quick trailer. I think it's all
they
like
have a
just.
little quick one from IGN.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper?
I'm not
sweet
ready to
and
sink my.
spicy?
Don't show me commercials for things I can't get in San Francisco. Too late. There's no Wingstop here. Sad.
I've never even heard of a Wingstop. So.
What he said.
Where
does that even
New
exist
Horizons
then?
Lets you escape to an island all your own. In a world filled with possibilities, you're free to play how you want and share it with all your friends. Explore, create, and customize your island paradise anytime. Animal Crossing New Horizons, only on Nintendo Switch.
I mean, is it me, or is Animal Crossing kind of like the Minecraft for the Nintendo?
Actually,
is that unfair?
At the moment, I don't think it is, because like they added the whole crafting thing into it. I mean, Animal Crossing in the past has been kind of just like this really like chill kind of gameplay experience, where it's basically just a debt simulator, really. Because half the time,
Yeah.
I mean, when you boil it down, that's really what it is. Like, you get to this island, you want to build a house, you got to go in debt to expand your house, and then you got to like make a bunch of money to like pay off this debt. So like, at its core, it was always a debt simulator.
You pay off the freaking Tanuki, and then you go back to Tanuki after paying off your debt, and he's like, "Hey, you know what you want? Another expansion on your house." You're just like,
exactly.
Tom, I guess you're right.
Tom,
you're back in debt to the Tanuki.
Right, Tom Nook, the biggest bastard in video games. You know, but the point is, like, it's just, for some reason, it's just fun and relaxing. Even though you're in this crippling debt, it was actually a great little game you played. So it was kind of just like this like fun way of looking at life. It's like you have this crippling debt, but you have this like fun little stuff to do in like bite-sized bits. I don't know. It speaks to me.
Because you love crippling debt.
Yeah, I'm like, aren't you in therapy for this?
Exactly. It's funny because like this is totally a game that like Mark should like and I should hate, but I love it and Mark hates it because he just has no soul. I don't know.
I've never played Animal Crossing, so I have no idea.
Right, but you'll find a reason to hate it because I love it. It's just the way this works.
No. That's not a necessity for me to not like something because you like it.
It's a necessity for Dave. You have to not like it.
Yeah, it's a necessity for Dave. It's not a necessity for me. But yeah.
No, but I'm saying that's how it always works out.
See, and I've not watched this trailer either. The Division 2 Warlords of New York just launched. I've not made it back to the game since
I'm going to
launch.
be honest. I can't even see the screen right now.
Well, yeah, we know that. It's alright.
Like, that second one was too much. So, what are we watching now?
Division 2 DLC.
Yeah, that you got to pay $30 for, even if you got the season pass.
Alright, it's just all gray and brown, and it's reminding me of the original PlayStation.
Well, that's the point. Is it supposed to remind you of the original
feels better
New
for
York
you now.
one, which was all gray and brown and in the
Feeling
snow.
safe doesn't mean you are safe.
Oh, they have power back on.
Alright, I'm gonna tune out because I don't care.
Damn, what proof was that whiskey?
I can never tell if Mark hates when I'm like this, or if it makes the show better. I think it makes the show
Now the end we always feared is coming.
But I'm not sure if he hates it because
it's possibly both. Because one does not necessarily counteract.
New York is putting together
it
a
is
strike
possibly both
down
because
here.
I don't know why.
It feels
Like
like
this
he's planning
just seems
something
like
bigger.
generic shooter
Don't underestimate
game.
them. Call the others.
Done this a million times. Why do I care? I don't. But I'm also never.
Let's find out from Mark why maybe some people should care because he is more of this culture.
But he's not talking.
Well,
I'm gonna.
The issue for me, I know that they rebalanced some things and they gave you new ultimate abilities and whatnot, but the problem is that I didn't like the story of the first one to begin with. Like, it had great possibility, but I always wanted to kill Fei Lao. She's the one who... She always bossed me around, and I hated it.
I hated her too.
And
I agree with that. We agree.
$30, if it came with like survival mode, then like the new version of survival mode, then I might be inclined to say, oh, that's something I really want to check out because I love survival.
If the $30 gave you the opportunity to kill Fei Lao, would you buy it?
I don't know that it's worth $30 for me to. I'll wait till it goes on sale if that's the case.
So what is the justification for it being that much? Is it a full like 60-hour campaign?
It's not 60 hours, but it is meant to be quite a bit of content. You're basically going back to Manhattan. You're revisiting everything from the first game. All the factions from the first game are still there. And like I said, they did some rebalancing. And then they, added new weapons, new class trees, and new ultimates. And so it's supposed to be what the big revision was for the first game. The problem is there's not been enough time, and you're still basically just chasing a gear score, like almost every game nowadays. So for me, it wasn't enough. I know for Ken, it wasn't enough to keep him. I do know that Sean, which is the third member of our fire team, he's still playing it like nonstop. So I'm sure he will end up picking it up. I don't like. The whole reason that I got back into the Division 1 was because they created this survival mode that was so different from the main game and so interesting with its ideas that it became an obsession of how can we get good at this. And then they have nothing like that for this, and it all just seems kind of the same. And what Dave was saying, generic shooter tropes and stuff, it is a lot of that. And I'm not sure that the appeal to go back and continue the story from the first one and catch the rogue agent that basically put all this into motion in the first place, I'm not sure that I have that much desire to do it. And Ken is saying he's also going to pass. So
look, I'll be honest. I was talking out of complete ignorance, so don't give me any credit whatsoever.
Oh, but I mean, what's different? I love you. Anyways,
Broken clock still right there.
Look, you broke him.
You didn't. It's
I don't
awesome.
know. Was there anything else we needed to look at, Matt? You're the.
Not that I've seen, no.
Okay. So, because I don't think there's anything else really coming out in March. My question is for Mitchell. Have you played Shadow of the Colossus?
Yes. Has he?
I played Shadow of
He's
the
beaten
Colossus
it more times than the rest of us added together.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Good job. Good parenting. All right. Just wanted to check. All right.
Wait,
So
hold on. Back up a second. What's going on with Shadow of the Colossus?
it's coming out in March for part of the PS Plus
Part of
games.
March is.
Do you have to play another 52 times on this new platform, Mitchell?
No, because it's the same one, the PS4 version.
The whole Shadow of the Colossus thing, that was hilarious, because I remember playing it, like, I bought the game, and I was all excited about the game, and I started playing the game, and I was like, I feel bad about what I'm doing, so I stopped doing it.
I felt bad, but I did it anyway, like a sociopath.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, I stopped after the second one because, like, he looked at me like he was sad that I was doing that, and I'm like,
right when you plunge the sword right into his head. That's when he's like,
yeah. And
That's when he goes like,
I'm doing something wrong here. Like, this is not right. And he looked at me so sad, and I was just like, I killed him, and I was just like, F, like, this is not what I'm supposed to be. This is not how I'm supposed to be living my life.
It is amazing how that game was able to evoke that feeling with fairly limited capability.
It was. Like, I was literally, like, I remember the thing turned around and looked at me like, why are you doing this? And I picked that up, and I'm also, like, I'm definitely more of, like, an empathic kind of person, where, like, that's actually, like, my whole big curse in life, and that's, like, one of the reasons I'm in therapy, is that, like, I have too much empathy. And, like, it actually translated to that damn stupid video game. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. And I literally stopped playing the game, and I never went back to it because of that.
You actually probably were right. You were probably right.
I think I was right. But I'm curious now, like, it's going to be on Plus. Like, there's a chance that I can play it again. So, like, I might do that.
it's a beautiful piece of work. It really is.
It is. I have no doubt about that. But I'm just like, I know that I know that I'm going to feel bad doing what I'm doing.
And Blue Point really did knock it out with that upgrade version. So they did. So just as a note, the big releases for this month are Ori and the Will of the Wisps on Xbox One, My Heroes 1 Justice 2 on pretty much everything, Neo 2 on PlayStation 4, MLB The Show 20 on PlayStation 4, Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch, Doom 64 and Doom Eternal on pretty much everything, and Persona 5 Royale on PlayStation 4 March 31st.
With
so that's
cheese?
Yes, Royale with cheese because it's French.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the big. That was something I was going to want to talk about tonight, but I know we've gone long. Is I am nearly overwhelmed with the amount that's just coming out for PlayStation in the next few months, and this is a freaking console launch year. It's insane.
You know, I basically said
we have to realize and we have to accept the fact that we're in our golden age of gaming again.
You basically said silence, or did I lose something?
No, you lost something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got
we're in the
silent
golden.
too.
We're in the golden age of gaming.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Dave said. And I basically said, oh, the only game that I'm really gonna buy or games that I'm gonna buy till launch
Now I hear
are
silence.
Final Fantasy VII and Cyberpunk.
I hear nothing.
That's okay, Dave.
Are you guys talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't hear Dave for some reason.
That's weird.
I can hear Dave. I don't know if Dave can hear me. I
Whoa.
don't think he can hear me, but
I hear you now, but
Hi,
I'm hearing like
Dave.
all kinds of beeps and now I hear hi Dave.
That's super
What's
weird.
going on?
that was Keegan.
See him
Probably-
moving, but
Probably
I
a
can't hear
bottleneck.
you.
He
Oh my god, I'm hearing like beeps and
yeah. He might be falling off the internet on his side.
oh, wait, I'm seeing like a lagging thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
everything
fine.
is lagging.
But yeah, I mean, next month alone, there's like 3 games I want, and that's just I don't
Too much.
understand.
I
Well-
still need to buy 2 DLC sets and other stuffs, probably,
Yeah, so-
eventually.
What I was saying is I was planning on only buying Final Fantasy VII and Cyberpunk, and then I forgot about Ghost of Tsushima. So that one's up there, and I'm sure that there's another one that I've forgotten that will
That's The
pop
Last
up.
of Us Part 2.
Because I'm waiting any day for them to tell us that the PlayStation is going to be pushed back till next year because of the
You mean
coronavirus.
Last of Us Part 2, Mark?
Oh yeah,
That'd
there's
be the
that
one you're
too.
forgetting.
Yep, that's the one I'm forgetting. All right. Yeah.
And Resident Evil 3, because
Nah.
you're totally caught up on Resident Evil and ready to go.
Yeah, I haven't even played the first one or the second one. Much to Kate's chagrin. Sorry, Kate. Yeah.
Or 7. You didn't play 7 either, did you?
1, 3, or 7.
No, absolutely not. I never played 7.
No, 7, 2, or 3, Keegan.
7, 2, or 3.
Well, 3 is not out yet, technically, but, you know.
And then he still hasn't played God of War either because he hates me.
I haven't played God of War, but not because
Sir.
I hate Matt. Not because I hate Matt. Did you see the thing? Did you see the thing that the hackers found out
Boy.
about God of War?
What?
No.
What?
What?
So I guess whenever you're like, I don't know if there's a scene where you're talking to the bad guy, like the big bad guy or whatever, and they hacked so that they could move the camera around, and they look behind, and I guess the bad guy is talking to you off screen or something behind Kratos' back, and they hacked the camera so they could turn and look at the dude, and he's flipping off Kratos.
That must be. Yeah, that's got to be. What's his face?
Baldur?
Yeah, Baldur. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's hilarious nonetheless. That's pretty crazy. And Ken says he's going to get the anime games this year, like Fairy Tail, Sword Art Online, and Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Gungeon? He said it's in the first fight in God of War.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's Baldur.
Baldur.
Yeah, let's head to final thoughts. Keegan, final thoughts for you.
Final thoughts. I always forget about this. Final thoughts. Final Fantasy VII still looks great. Ghost of Tsushima looks great, and yeah.
It's a great time to be alive.
Yes. And not enough money.
Or time.
Yep. Severe lackage of both.
Mitchell, how about you?
Well, Keegan took part of mine, and I was just gonna say, don't have enough money. I need more money.
He's just a broke boy from a broke family. Send him some games so he can play them all the time.
Yes.
I don't see anything.
Dave.
On the web page here. It's saying page unresponsive. Does anybody hear me?
Yes, we all hear you.
I didn't. I can't hear him.
Keegan and I are afflicted.
All right. Well. All right. Hold on. Let me text him. Let's see if he even.
Why can't I hear him and you can't? We're on the same.
I can hear him.
I'm talking to my dad.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
We can hear. Oh wait, that's Ken. That's not Dave. Okay, we can hear you.
Come on, party. Let's go party.
What's your final thought?
Oh, God.
He fell.
Oh, wow. He's like really gone. Like everything.
He's really gone.
He probably went to bed.
He just killed the browser and said, "Screw this noise."
Well, not only that, but what the heck just happened? Because you guys all went into one square on my thing.
Womp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool because we took up the same space that his picture took.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really weird. Oh,
there he is.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey, turn on your camera there, buddy.
Hold on.
Try again.
Yeah.
What happened?
Turn your camera on.
Unmute your camera. You have to unmute your camera.
Unmute your camera.
There you go.
There you go.
Hi. He's back, and we can hear him.
Everything totally went to hell.
Well, that's because you have such a great internet connection. What's your final thought, Dave?
Hold on, I got text from some guy named Mark. He's asking me what my final thoughts are, which is odd because I'm on a podcast talking about that right now.
Is that like this Mark guy is actually part of this podcast or anything?
Don't confuse me.
Yeah, but really, just don't talk anymore. Dave, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I am really looking forward to Animal Crossing at an unhealthy level. And it's really lame, and I know, but I'm very excited for this to be on the Switch.
It's not lame. Why
it's
is
not
it
lame.
that?
Yeah.
It is. It's a death simulator. It really is.
But it's in happy pastel colors. So it's
but this is everything I'm supposed to be against. This is stuff that Mark is supposed to like. Mark is supposed to like spreadsheet games. I'm not supposed to like spreadsheet games. But then Animal Crossing comes along, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. Like it doesn't make sense.
It's on the
spreadsheets.
Happy pastels. So
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But the thing is, I'm going to love it. I'm going to play it. And you know what the worst part is? Hey guys, ask me what the worst part is.
What is the worst part?
I'm probably going to have to buy this game twice.
So you can play with Alex, teach him about the life and death of being in eternal debt?
Because I have a feeling Alex is going to want to play this. And you know something? I have a weird feeling.
That tonight's going to be a good night?
No. I have a feel.
Those feelings that keep getting caught in his throat there.
I know, it's weird. I have a feeling that my wife actually might like this game.
My wife?
Maui. I have a feeling my wife might actually like this game because it involves in decorating and stuff like that.
So you're gonna have to buy a third Switch.
Well, no. Oh God, no. I'm not gonna buy a third Switch. That's not gonna happen.
Why? Because then you'd all be able to play together.
Dude, That's a lot.
It's no more than some of your other unhealthy obsessions.
It's, trust me, we can't buy a third Switch. However, I can I can give her like a profile on my Switch. Like, that's fine. She actually already has a profile on my Switch. Because I know she has a profile on my Switch because Alex reloads games on her profile to start over again, which I think is hilarious that he figured that out on his own. He was like, "Oh, I just started under mommy, so I can start the game over again." I'm like, "Okay, that's pretty brilliant, actually."
Well, I was going to ask Matt what his final thoughts were, but he just left.
Yeah, he'll be right back.
Did he have to pee?
No. Our mother needed to get up for something, so he's getting her up. So.
Got it. Well, I'll do mine while he's gone then. And
sounds good.
Dave.
Yes.
You and I had a conversation a while back where I wanted to buy you a T-shirt and you wouldn't let me, and I think I did anyways, but I don't know for sure. And I did end up sending you the stuff for that T-shirt, didn't I? I think I did.
I think so, but I don't think I.
Did you get it?
I don't know what happened. I don't think I did.
Because I got it.
I forget what it was at this point.
Do you see mine? Oh.
You're clipping in and out of existence.
You're too small.
Stand by. I can do this.
I'm standing by.
Stand by.
It looks like Queen.
The dog morphing out
Yeah, that happens. There. Am I centered? I can't see the camera now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it.
Can you see Dave?
No.
Artists?
Click on my picture in Discord.
Oh my god,
dude,
that's
weird.
So much.
Where'd it go?
Can you
there it is.
on your big screen? Because even big, you're just.
Oh, it's Weird Al. It's a bunch of Weird Al.
Okay.
Hey, do you guys know that I met Weird Al?
Yes, we're aware.
Do you not remember how this conversation started? That's why I wanted to send you the money to buy the shirt, and you totally didn't buy the shirt. And I ended up with the shirt, and I haven't met Weird Al.
Yeah. I had to
take buddies with this guy who works for him, and yes, you've been to like a gajillion versions of his concert, and yes, we've heard all about this. Stop bragging!
I almost ruined the last show in Philly because I had to drive Weird Al's drummer, and I almost messed that all up.
Oh,
we had like dinner with his drummer, John Bermuda Schwartz, which everybody knows, and so we're having dinner with his drummer. And there's like all these like Weird Al fans like in the place, like you can tell because like they all have like the shirts on and stuff. And we're sitting there having dinner like with his drummer, and like we're looking over and like these people don't even realize that like his drummer's right there, and they should be freaking out. And we're just like casually talking like to this guy and everything. It's a really weird life.
Do you know who Josh Ritter is?
Josh Ritter, yeah.
Okay, so I had dinner with Josh Ritter's drummer, and I did not have any problems getting him to his show. Why was this so hard for you?
Well, because I had a baby car seat, and I had to drive a Honda Fit.
Did you try and put the drummer in the baby car seat?
No, but I had to remove the baby car seat so I can get everybody in the car because it was me and two of my friends. My one friend that works for Weird Al, and another friend, and she's tall. And then, so she had to sit in the front, and then Weird Al's drummer had to sit in the back with, so I had to take out the car seat,
and
for the baby.
The Cheerios and whatever else were in the...
I threw them out of the car real quick, because I was just like, Weird Al's drummer needs to be in the cleanest Honda Fit that he ever... And it's just like, my God, I'm driving a famous drummer in a Honda Fit. I felt like such a small person.
I'm surprised he didn't just offer to buy you a bigger car right then and there and just be done with it.
Well, surprisingly, Weird Al's drummer doesn't make that much money where he can just buy somebody a car. However, very cool individual. I do love the guy, and he's very like very knowledgeable about stuff, and he's a great conversationalist. So that's kind of cool. But there's actually going to be another tour of the. So he did this tour where he just did all original songs. Did you guys know about that?
Yes, because you told us about it.
Yeah.
15 times.
So apparently he's doing that tour again. And so my buddy, they did this whole thing where, you know how Weird Al did that song I Lost on Jeopardy?
Mm-hmm.
So for VIP tickets, they did this whole Jeopardy thing. And my buddy wrote most of the questions for the really challenging VIP Jeopardy question segment of the thing. I actually helped with this, and I actually made a paycheck on this. So technically I got paid by Weird Al, which is kind of cool. But so he built these things, and they were going to throw it all out after this tour, but he took it and put it in his storage in his garage in his LA house. So they apparently decided that they wanted to do this show again. So now they need all this stuff from him again. So they're like lucky they gave it to him and all the questions and everything. So they're going to do another one of those tours. So I'm probably going to go with my buddy to one of these tours again because that was cool. Because when we were at the last tour, so my buddy and I in college met. We really solidified our friendship based off this like really obscure Weird Al song. It was called Just One of Those Days, and it's off like his least selling album and everything. And when we were in college, like my buddies said, like, you know, before we really became friends, he said, "So how's everything going?" I was like, "Oh, well, you know, I lost one of my socks in the dryer. I can't find my wallet, and my hair is on fire. It's just one of those days." Which is like a really obscure verse in a Weird Al song that nobody knows. And he lost his mind because he was like, "Holy shit, you're like a real Weird Al fan." So that's how we solidified our friendship. So at the last concert that he did the other year, we went to Atlantic City to see this. And my buddy specifically requested this song. And Weird Al was on stage saying, "Well, you know, this next song is going to be, you know, this song. It's off my worst selling album. It's like a song that nobody cares about, but UHF wants it, so I'm going to play it." So he called out my friend by name and like played it, and like we like freaked out because it was like the whole basis of our friendship was now like being played on stage by Weird Al. It was like this weird, surreal like event, and we were both drunk off our asses already at this point. So it was actually just a really cool thing, and just like, you know, I'm such good friends with this guy, and so it's just like, it was just this really cool moment in our life. Like we were just like, you know, in college we were just like fans of the guy, and like now he like does some work for the guy, and you know, it's just crazy. It's just, life is weird.
Matt, final thoughts.
That was a random one. I'm sorry.
I had one before all of that. Now I've kind of lost it. Damn it. What was it?
Was it money related?
Yeah. No, it was not money related. Don't have any of that. Kind of quick mentioned the Star Wars, but the Star Wars announced a project called the High Republic, which is going to be a cross-media event. Officially, so far, we know there's novels, YA novels, comics, and young people comics, like regular comics, and then young person comics that are part of the event. It's rumored that there might be one of the shows coming out on Disney Plus might be tied into it, and
that could be cool.
And
I didn't realize that was a show going to be involved.
Maybe that's all rumor yet. Nothing confirmed on that. And the much rumored revival of the Old Republic may also be a part of this, but that is also not confirmed. So right now, all we know is there's novels and comics, but it's set 200 years before the Skywalker saga. So it's the high time of the Republic. It's not the Old Republic where the Old Republic stuff takes place, but it's a high point of peace and tranquility in the Republic when something happens, as is prone to do in the Star Wars universe. So
I kind of want more HK-47.
I don't think he's probably going to be in it, but you never know.
But I wish.
We can wish. We can wish. That is a game that deserves a remaster. So if the gods are smiling upon us, we may live to see that.
It does. It does need a little tweaking and remastering, because that is such a good game. It is a ridiculously good game.
I've never played it.
What?
You are now going to be shunned, sir.
That is my dirty shame.
So it's not Force Awakens. So what game are we talking about?
Hold on a second.
Star Wars. The Old Republic.
Wait, the Old Republic? Yeah, I've never played it either.
Knights of the Old Republic.
KOTOR, yeah, I've never played it either.
Oh, what? Okay, I understand because you hate everything Star Wars.
I do not hate The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian.
Everything Star Wars.
If the rest of Star Wars was like Mandalorian, then I would be a Star Wars fan.
Okay, I get it. Shut up. Not about you right now. Matt. Now, granted, I'm going to be honest now, my eyes are completely not able to focus on anything, so I'm not really sure if that was you talking.
You've got a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you never played Knights of the Old Republic?
I did not play Knights of the Old Republic because it was on Xbox, and I did not have an Xbox, and I was not going to buy an Xbox for it. I did eventually buy the PC version, but the computer I had at the time could not play it. It played like garbage. And by the time I got a newer computer, it was so far past, I just...
But it was also on, like, phones and stuff. Like, I have it on my tablet, too.
Yeah, I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it that way.
But it was like real... Oh, okay. I get it.
So I really seriously want a remaster of this game because I have never gotten to play it. And
dude.
Yeah, but BioWare's never going to agree to it, I don't think. Plus, they'd have to relicense the game.
Shut your dirty whore mouth. Like, that needs to...
I'm just
that needs to happen.
Here.
No. It needs to happen. It's such a good game. It needs to happen. It is such a good game, except for that one. I got hit with the glitch. Can I tell you about this annoying glitch in the game?
If it takes 30 seconds or less.
Yeah.
Yes. So the cutscenes were based on the rules of the game. Okay. So there's this one part of the game where you were supposed to talk to somebody, and if you were going into the scene with your like camouflage belt or something like that, you had something that like made you turn invisible. And if you didn't turn uninvisible before the end of the scene, when you were trying to talk to the person, when the cutscene started, the other person couldn't see you. And it would cause this game-stopping glitch.
Nice.
It sucked so bad. I had to start over.
Oh, yikes.
But that's BioWare, because they're shit.
All right, we have jumped all the sharks now.
Yeah, well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show, where we leave you with a wise sage piece of advice to carry you over until the next time we are all together.
Please don't do this.
Oh yeah. So today, Dave, I was giving away all my dead batteries. Do you know how much they cost?
I don't want to know.
They were free of charge. Until next week, game on.
I hate you.
That was actually almost good. That was actually almost good.
Game on.
Game on.
Hate you so much.
Why would you put a drummer in a baby seat?